Sunday. Yeah, I'm gonna take this part down and come on in with y'all. If this is your first time visiting with us, welcome. We are so honored to have you guys here. And if you don't know how to keep you guys informed, that little white square on the screen right now that you're seeing has pretty much all of our information on it. Our website's the first line, big black bold letters, and then the second one is our Facebook page. And you can like and subscribe to both of those. Also, we also have a YouTube channel. So if you look up Melody of Spirit Readings, etc., like it says on the top where it says Welcome to Melody of Spirit Readings, etc., without the exclamation mark, you can find us on YouTube as well. Just in case you don't get to get on HAPS right away or you don't want to miss anything, that's another way you can watch some replays if you don't want to make an account with HAPS. If you do want to make an account with HAPS, awesome sauce. And there is a way to do that. What you guys can do is go and I think what you can do is type in my thing here. Let me see if I can put it in the comments for you guys. You go to www.haps.tv / I think at MSR ETC live stream. Yeah, I think that's how that works. Yep. Okay. So all that jazz and bag of chips, and that will lead you directly to our page here on HAPS, and you actually get 100 coins free just for joining, which you can use to support any of the streamers here on HAPS. HAPS is an amazing kind of service where you can multi-stream, which is how I'm able to multi-stream with you guys on YouTube, Facebook, and that's my husband laughing in the bathroom. But this is where you guys can pretty much like see what's going on, what's the happenings, because most of the time I am putting a lot more updates on HAPS, like when we're going live. But you do get to hear some updates usually on my live as well, because I like to keep you guys informed. I'm still working on my website a little bit, so there is some construction areas that look a little unfinished, but everything is still functional. So if you're running a private reading of some sort, if you're feeling led to do that for yourselves, that is a place where you can do that website on that first line of the big bold black letters. But yeah, so that's all the PSAs. I think the one more PSA that I will do for you guys is for this Wednesday coming up. We are doing the Honor Thyself. It's a free card pull for each person who comes on live with us. I'm going to try to keep it in between 5 minutes for each person, depending on how many people we have. I'm going to try to cap it at 15 people, only because I do have my little family here, and my kids kind of need me at the evening time for bed because I'm part of the routine. So that is kind of where that is. But that is happening on Wednesday. Honor Thyself, a free card pull for the people that are live with us. And I'm capping it at 15 people, just because it's a lot of energy to spread the love sometimes, and my kids need me to be at my full 100% for them in the evening. So, but yeah, welcome to Spiritual Chatter Sunday, guys. If you're new to this, Spiritual Chatter Sunday is where we kind of have this like powwow. We get to kind of get in touch with one another, see how everything is going. You guys are welcome to like comment in the comments. I will answer them as fast or as quickly as they come in. I like to make sure that you guys are able to have feedback. It's very important to me that we are engaging. So 1 second, I'm going to pop my face up in here for y'all. Hi. And I'm going to take this one down so we're not like going too crazy over there. So, hey Ash, it's so good to see you. I saw your replay. You did amazing. Well done, beautiful. But yeah, so if you have a fancy beverage, like water, tea. You guys can get coffee if you want, mimosas. Nobody's watching. It's all up to you, whatever you want to do. My power was out, so it just came on like 30 minutes ago. So I had to do the devilish deed of going to Starbucks and getting me an iced coffee because I can't function without caffeine. My son's upset with me because I locked the door today. Yes, it is a good excuse, isn't it? But it's actually very true. Our whole area got knocked out. There was like 568 people without power in our area, and we happened to be the lucky few. So that was kind of interesting. But we are cool now. We don't know what caused the power outage. They have no idea. So they fixed it. I'm happy it's fixed. If you hear the screaming in the background, that's my son. I'm going to probably have to go take care of him for a second. My husband decided to take a shit at the exact same time. So hold on. This is my son. He's so sweet. So just give me like 2 minutes, guys. I'm gonna help him for a minute and then I'll be right back. And we're back. Okay. Okay. Sorry, guys. Potty break for my son. He's 2, so we're still potty training. So it's not always a easy process. Okay. So, okay, who do we have on here? The coffee got here. Yay. We have Ash on here. And I think I saw Knowledge said hi earlier too. It just comes with like the first thing that pops out of my mouth sometimes, Ash. Like I'm just used to apologizing for random stuff in my life and it's programming. I need to clear that out. But yeah, it's the joy of being a mother of 3 under the age of 6. So how is everybody? Is everybody doing well? I see we have 77 eyeballs. Thank you for lurking with us. I so appreciate it. Yeah. So, oh, Zinel, welcome. Yes, isn't he adorable? My son is so cute. I love him. He is awesome. He's my pride and joy. My girls are my pride and joy too, but there's just something about having a boy when you're a mom. I don't know what the deal is, but they really are mama's boys. I don't know what the deal is. Like, you literally, the stigma is there. I have 3 children. So I have a 6-year-old girl. She's my oldest. I have a 4-year-old daughter. That's my other one. And then I have a 2-year-old son. So they all come with their quirks, and they love making my life so full of love and joy, and occasionally a little bit chaotic. And I enjoy it. I enjoy being a parent. It's a lot of fun. The kids really enjoy me as a mom, so I know I'm doing something right. Yes, exactly. That's exactly how I'd put it. Like, yes, busy, but couldn't ask for more. It's just amazing. Like, I really do enjoy being a mom. But yeah, this is just another, kind of like another extension of myself. I really enjoy also helping people or being a part of the healing process of how things work, you know? Yeah, I can tell it's in your heart. Aw, you're so sweet. I'm so glad you're on here, Ash. Thank you for coming on today. But yeah, it's just one of those things. Like, yeah, the true bond is beyond understanding. Oh, you also have a son? Oh my goodness. Zale, that's so cool. Yeah, sons are just super cute. I don't know what the deal is. They're adorable. So I was gonna pull a card this morning, but I thought I'd wait for you guys since you guys are a part of the fun. This is where all the magic happens. So I'm gonna use a deck that is made by 4 amazing Canadian illustrators in Vancouver. It's called the Ostera Tarot. So in case you guys are interested and if you guys want to check these guys out, this deck is amazing. Now you can find it on Amazon. I don't know if they have their own website, but Molly Applejohn, Eden Cook, Krista Gebart, and Julia Arundale. They're pretty cool. An amazing artist. You can kind of see they have like a whimsical kind of vibe to their deck. It's like kind of like a mixture of all their personalities. So you've got, and each of them took a suit. So like you can kind of see the mixture. I don't know if this, I might have to turn off my light for this. Let's see. It might also be my amazing, yeah, there we go. That might work out a little better. But yeah, so there's that. It's super cool. And then they all kind of collabed on the Arcana. So you kind of get to see an amazing repertoire of like, you can see this is the full card. I don't know if you guys are new to tarot, there is an amazing assortment of cards that form tarot. I do believe it's like 78 cards. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ash, because you do cards too. So, yeah, there's 78 cards that I can think off the top of my head. 22 of them, or 21 of them. One of the two. It's been a while since I played around with tarot, so bear with me. Yeah, because it starts from 0, right? So it's like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I think it's like 21. Yeah, 21. Maybe. I don't know. I have to double check that, guys. Sorry. It's been a hot minute since I've played with my tarot cards. I've really been like really leaning towards oracle cards lately. So those have been my tool of choice. Here we go. Tarot. Here we go. Yeah, 22 major arcana cards. There we go. See? Thank you, internet. Okay, so there's 22 major arcana cards, and the rest of them are all minor arcana, and they go into 4 suits. So if you need math for that, I'm trying really hard. It's really difficult. So my brain is not working. This is why you need coffee in your life sometimes, guys. Caffeine is supposed to help with this. Honestly, it's not working in my favor today. But yeah. So, good morning, Sage. Grandest risings to you. Coffee is like on point today. I didn't add any sugar to it, just coconut milk and then a flavoring they have, and it was amazing. Okay, so, but yeah, so there is 22 major arcana, and then the rest of it is all minor. There's 4 suits. They're supposed to be the equivalent of earth, fire, water, and air. Earth being kind of like more of a wealth, possessions, things of value in the sense of like more of a grounding value. Then you have the water signs, or the water part of the suits, which has to deal with the emotions, kind of places everything in the sense of like the worth of a relationship and the emotional turmoil it kind of pushes you towards. Because everything that we do has emotions. So it kind of shows like a mixture of that. It also can be referred to as cups, same thing with earth being considered pentacles. And then you have fire. Fire is usually considered wands because it's an action. So you're extending yourself to perform something in ambition-wise. And that's kind of like the spark or the fire that kind of burns inside of you. Then you have the air, which is usually considered arrows, or also for this one, I think they have it for something else, so bear with me. Hold on. I love this deck because it's so whimsical, but at the same time, it has so many different layers. Yeah. So we have wands, and coins. Oh yeah, pentacles can also be used as coins as well. Like I said, worth value. Cups, and I think swords. Yeah, so it can be swords or arrows depending on the deck that you have. And air usually is symbolizing our mental stability. So how we think about something, how we're moving towards something, mentally, how draining it can be. Like it goes through all the phases of what's going on in your head. And that's kind of an amazing thing to have as a tool when you use tarot cards, is because you can kind of see the contrast of what you're actually feeling, which is awesome. You kind of see like, in the past I was feeling this way, presently I'm feeling this way, and then the future I'm feeling like optimistic or feeling like this is going to go somewhere else. And if it doesn't feel like it's going the right way, then you have the ability to change that. You are the kind of the creator and the founder of your world that you live in. Just because other people have parts to play in it doesn't mean that they 100% are the ones that control your world. If that makes any sense, let me know. If I'm talking too fast, sorry. Like I said, I just had coffee and I'm a little bit tired. So I'm trying really hard to slow down. But I'm really just enjoying the morning. The morning has been pretty fantastic, honestly. If I didn't get up when I did, I wouldn't know the power was off. I wouldn't have been able to feed my children the way that they needed to be fed. And now I'm just grateful for how everything's moving forward. You get to see you amazing people in the morning, which is awesome. So, and you get to see me in my rawest form with me just starting to drink my coffee. So, kudos. If you need a coffee break or a drink break from me talking so much, this is your cue, since I am literally standing right here with coffee in my hand. Alrighty then. That is really good. This one is white chocolate. I love white chocolate. It's delicious. I do like a matcha pineapple. If you ever go to Starbucks, do that. And it usually is made with coconut milk. It is delicious. Highly recommended. And then this is water, because coffee sometimes dehydrates you. I'm usually dual wielding somewhere in that department. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pull our card, or cards, depending on what everybody is needing today. Thank you so much, Spirit, for allowing us to start the day with such an amazing opportunity. We are grateful and honored for you being our guiding light in these amazing, interesting times. Ooh, some new thoughts are brewing. We got the One of Swords. So something is happening. What's going on? Oh, okay. We have the Three of Cups, I believe. Yes, Three of Cups. So presently, somebody's dealing with some emotions. Or all of us are, actually. I think this is more of a reflection. Is it a reflection? Yeah, it feels like it. Okay. Let's see where they're going with this. Oh, okay. And the Two of Swords. Okay. So this is having to do with our emotions, as well as our mental state with those emotions. So let's see what they have in store for us. Usually the One of Swords usually represents a kind of like you're starting to have a thought. Something is making you think of something new, a certain different way of looking at things. So let's see what they have in store for this. Okay, here we go, guys. And this is in reversed. So reversed doesn't always mean bad. It just means it's more of like a warning sign. So like here. So this one is explaining that you'll be facing a task or a decision with a clouded mind. Perhaps you do not have all the information you need, or you simply are refusing to go deeper than the surface understanding. Alternatively, you may feel like you are out of your depth in the chaotic situation. Try to approach your predicament with sound logic. There we go. Sound logic. Clear goals and truthfulness. Actually, this is funny. I actually told my sister about this yesterday. I was talking to my sister last night, and we had brought this up in our conversation. Because she's also dealing with a lot of that, needing some mental clarity. So if my sister's watching this, hi. And then we have the Three of Cups. So we'll kind of see how this is all contributing together. Oh, this is good. All right. The Three of Cups is a friendship or support card. Spend time with those around you who keep you afloat. It is a social period and time that should be spent with groups. And energy and compassion of others will bring a fresh charge to your life. So just because this is kind of draining, the logic and sound-mindedness of trying to get your cloudy mind going together, Doesn't mean you don't have a support system. Doesn't mean you don't have a group of people in your life that could probably give you a little fresher perspective, or just brighten your day from you thinking about it. And then we have the Two of Swords, and this one is also in reverse. So it just depends on the contents of how everything went with those two cards. So I think I'm going to pull this as like a past, present, and future thing. So right now, so in the past, with the One of Swords reversed, basically what they're explaining with this card, I'm going to show you what it looks like. So in case somebody wants to see exactly the obstacles that this person might be dealing with. Now, like I said, the artists here, they all had their own depictions on each of the suits, so you can kind of see their taste of artistic artwork, which is super cool. But here we go. So basically, for this card in particular, the one I'm pulling up right here, that is basically telling us that we need to go ahead and get away from the cloudiness of what's going on in our heads, starting off our day with a little bit more of sound logic and clarity. And we are moving towards the present, which the present, you're needing a group of friends. You're needing people in your life that can kind of refresh your energy, your life force, and kind of give you a new perspective on your purpose, make you feel more confident again about what you're doing for yourselves. Emotionally, that is very important for people, especially since we're going through a lot of different changes with the planet as a whole. A lot of things are changing, moving without us even seeing them. So it's kind of really hard for us to gauge what our thoughts are. So I can totally understand where this is coming from, because present-wise, that would be a really good reason why we would want a close-knit group of people that support us in our logical decisions, our clearer goals that we finally have set in place, and giving us that support, as well as them getting support from us, because we're now at that ability in that stage. Now in the future, it's basically trying to remind us that we have a choice. On one hand, we may have achieved a higher level of clarity, and made a difficult decision by tearing off the blindfold, so basically clearing up the cloudiness in our minds. Or there's another part to this. Controversially, you may also be feeling overwhelmed by the emotions, and the external input that is hard for you to think clearly. So either you've been able to clear the fog in the future, or you're still in this kind of fog that you're still trying to get through. Because it's warning us in the beginning that we are dealing with that situation. We're still trying to figure out what's the clear, logical, sound information that we can do for ourselves. And then you have the present, where we're needing a support system. We're needing friendship and companionship and compassion, because we are going through those emotions with the Three of Cups. And then you have the Two of Swords reversed, which is basically just explaining to us a little more about, we do have two options to choose from. Sorry for my phone dinging so hard. But yeah, honestly, this is a really good start for our day, actually, because I think that a lot of us, through this systematic time loop that we seem to be going into, because it seems like every single year in the last 3 years has been some form of a cycle that we're supposed to be breaking. At least this is what, from my perspective, and from the opinion that I'm getting from what I'm getting from everything. So it's up to us to break it. We have the opportunity to break it in the future with the support of our friends, or family, depending on what level of friendship you have with them. And having compassion for ourselves as we're going through this, because we are breaking something away, emotionally and mentally. So it's definitely going to either help us in the long run, or it's going to still confuse us because we thought we made the right decision. Again, those are just choices. The future is not set in stone. You could change the whole outcome of this thing presently. You could totally change it. That's the cool thing about tools, as they're just tools. They're just advice. They're not set in stone. So if you're taking this to heart, you have the choice to change this outcome. You can make it the way you want to make it. And that's just a little tip about using tools. Just because the word is there doesn't mean it is set in stone. You are still the action card to anything that you're using. You're the ambition. You're the ignition that ignites everything to move forward. So, clarification for anybody who's new to this stuff. Okay, so that's that. That was a beautiful message. Hope everybody enjoyed that. And I think the next step we will read from our little daily meditation from the Celtic Spirit. So if you guys are new, this has like become my new amazing little daily ritual for myself. But I love sharing what I have with the rest of you guys. This kind of makes it really easy to kind of show you where I'm coming from, what I've been working on, and I've been doing a lot of like ancestor work, if you can kind of call it that. So I've been clearing up things that a lot of different people in my life either made certain choices that they couldn't fix it. And so it just fell onto me. Since I am the firstborn of my parents' new line of children, it seems like the one trauma that has been linked from many, many past ancestors happens to deal with a mother wound, which is very, 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 it was very sad at first, but it's kind of understandable after I go through all of the woodwork of finding all the information that kind of led them to this path. So I've sat in it, I've meditated with it, I've cleared pretty much everything that I could clear on my end that wasn't for the highest good or purest of intentions. But we found another root that is linked to the oldest child or oldest daughter of the line, because it seems like pretty much every single union had a daughter first. A feminine energy that they weren't prepared for looking in the mirror at. And instead of hitting it dead on and explaining to like them that it's okay to be themselves, it's okay for them to feel, and instead of treating them like their femininity didn't matter, they turned them against each other. So a lot of hatred has been spilled. It's just been a very interesting conversation. Noticing that at least the ones that are still alive that I can talk to about some stuff, I could feel the line has literally been lingering for a lot of different past ancestors. And I feel honestly so connected to that wound that I have made it my priority in this particular incarnation to get rid of it. It has no power here anymore. My oldest daughter is not going to be treated like that. She is going to be respected and loved for who she is, regardless of what happens in her choices. And I'm praying that she chooses beautiful choices that are for her highest good and purest of intentions. And that's something I do speak over my children, that they do have the ability to see what is for their highest good and purest of intentions. And that doesn't just include my oldest, it includes all of my children, even the ones that I haven't had yet, because I don't want that to be a wound they have to deal with in this life. I don't want them to have anxiety that their family members don't love them for who they are. And that's a really, really big, deep, dark hole. But it's definitely a hole that needed to be clear of any diseases or pesticides or any of that kind of stuff. It needed to be cleansed. So holy water that bitch and burn whatever things needed to happen there, and let the healing process begin. And it has began. I have healed many different traumas, and I'm very grateful for my guides and for Spirit to give me that confidence to do this. I didn't realize how deep I was connected to it until going through what I did. And I'm glad that I'm seeing a light at the end of the tunnel. So that's always exciting. Not everything is as dark and gloomy as it seems. We have the choice to change it. We are the voice of change. We are the living embodiment of change. But going back to the book here, this is The Celtic Spirit by Caitlin Matthews, with an I, not with a Y. And she is a super amazing author. She does a lot of Celtic shamanism, myths, and spirituality books. She's been doing a lot of like research on British and Celtic traditions for almost up to 30 years, apparently, according to this book right here. And it's super cool that she actually does teach all this stuff as well. She's like a promoter of the past, so we can remind ourselves what we are capable of in the future. And I love that about this book in general. It isn't even like so hard to understand. She really breaks it down for you, the different cycles and seasons of each day that she has put in here. It really does reflect a lot on what we're dealing with now, which is so interesting. So today is the 26th of September, in case you guys have not been looking at your phones or calendars. And today's little clip here in the book is about the Morgan's signs of the times, which is interesting because we've been talking about that a little bit. She always starts with some kind of poem or a clip bit from a early text. And this happens to be from an early Irish text, this first clip. Okay? So it says right here, summers without flowers, cows without milk, women without modesty, and men without courage. The Second Battle of Mag Doreed, an early Irish text. The current signs of the times are there to be read by anyone with an ounce of perception. We notice signs of decay and disorder, thoughtlessness towards the environment, urban chaoses, and breaking down, famine, and senseless wars. To the Irish goddess, the Morgan, a being who has often taken the form of a raven flying over the field of carnage. These are the areas of potential scavenging out of which new energy can be born. In her aspect of creativity, she is the one of the holy ones who gave birth to the mountains and the rivers. In her ecstatic union with the Dega, who is the god of fertile knowledge, like the Hindu goddess, I think it's Kali. Yeah, I think it's Kali, guys. Kili. Kali? Yeah, there you go. The Morgan acts as a challenger and a rememberer of the totality of time. She bides us and look not only at the end times, but also what leads up to them. By allowing the Morgan into our lives, we value each living being for itself, enabling it to find its own place, to see the interrelationships between all life forms. The Morgan keeps her ancient place and role in our society, however much we try to deny her. She speaks the end and she utters the beginning, and she announces the victory and defeat of our lives' struggles. With her far-seeing eye, she comprehends the germination of the acorn and the falling of the oak. And then she usually has like a little bit of a homework piece on the bottom. I usually do these ones each day, but this will be homework for you guys for the week. So keep this in mind and see what this does for you guys. What is at the ending of your life? In your life. What is at the ending in your life? And what is struggling to be born? And what is growing, and how can you help it grow? What is at its ending in your life? What is struggling to be born? And what is growing, and how can you help it to grow? Well, starting with the first question for me personally, I feel what is ending is this karmic tie that doesn't have no hold on any of us anymore. It doesn't have any hold on my siblings, doesn't have any hold on my children, my siblings' children's, and whatever is left over on my mom's side of things, I am sending infinite love and light for that to be transmuted as well. But it is up to my mom and her end of things as well. But I do feel that it is starting to break even hers. What is struggling to be born? A sense of trust, I feel, on their end of things. Everybody's still holding some form of trauma that they don't wish to release. And I feel like that trust is something that they're going to be able to do. And this is just my personal answers to these questions. You guys are welcome to answer in the chat as well what you guys feel about it. On your end, like what is ending in your life? What is at its ending in your life? What is struggling to be born is what the first two questions that we just went through on my end. And then what is growing, and how can you help it grow? I think what is growing in my life personally is the ability to be more open, to be raw and vulnerable again, to allow my feminine energy the ability to be wild and exotic, kind of like the Morgan, where you can see that she's very confident in her abilities and her stature and the way that she does move across time like nothing has happened. Things have happened. She has announced that they've happened. And the things that have ended and have began, and the victory in between, which I find it funny. Her whole setup is literally past, present, and future, which is super cool. And with her being like the balancing act of this particular goddess and god timeline for her archetype, I do feel like that's even more interesting, that that's kind of similar what I'm trying to let grow in my life. How am I helping it grow? Not blocking it when it comes to my mind or my emotions, not lying to myself or my husband how I'm feeling, so that we can all kind of get through it together, or just allow me to vent. So I'm allowing that what is growing, which is that openness and that raw feminine energy, to be able to be wild and free the way it's supposed to. How am I helping it grow is to be more honest about how I'm feeling, to not let it be blocked, which is awesome. Those are all really amazing things to help things grow. So that's super cool. What do you guys think? Is that kind of how your week has been going? Do you guys feel like you can start this week with a way of looking at the cycle that has ended in your life, and what is struggling to be born, and what is growing in your life, and how you can help it grow? Some fun facts. You can do all this by yourselves. You can do it with a partner or a friend. You don't have to be alone. You do have guides. You do have guardian angels. You do have a spiritual group of amazing beings that are willing to stay with you and work with this with you, and you don't have to be alone. Maybe physically you might have a little bit of a resistance, and that's because those are the choices of the other people around you. It has nothing to do with you personally. You are doing the work. You are awesome and amazing. You are not a martyr in this. Every one of us has gone through this. Even Christ has gone through this. So if you guys want to like look for a reference, most of the gods and goddesses in here have also been abandoned by their families due to choices and cause and effective choices. And that's because they also, in their archetypes, had the ability of free will. None of the stuff was set in stone. So if you guys want to look at different myths and legends and stuff like that, you can kind of see they all had a human aspect to themselves, regardless if it looked like they were the ruler or king of the world, or queen of the world. They all had a fall, or a moment of weakness, or a stumbling truth that haunted them. Kind of like, let's deal with Hades and Persephone for an instance. Some people thought that Hades tricked Persephone into coming with him. Others see that she wanted to break free of her mother's hold. And those are like two sides of different stories. And then you also have the thing where Demeter didn't want her daughter to be a part of the world of the gods. She sheltered her for as long as possible because she felt that the world was too dark and scary for her daughter to be a light in that darkness would be too much for her. She'd feel like she'd be overconsumed. And the daughter just felt like she was trapped. You know, like there's just, and then her naivety from her being sheltered for so long, she never saw any red flags when people came nearby or asked her to be something that she wanted to try. There's like a whole form of different perspectives because of cause and effective choices, because of translations. There's just so many different varieties just with that story alone. And those are two major archetypes. One showing balance in the form of spring and winter, and also showing harvest as well, for not just spiritually harvesting but also physical harvest, because as Demeter lost her daughter to the depths of Hades, or to hell, you kind of can see where she was like in a form of depression because of her choices. She didn't realize that there would be a hole in those choices that she didn't foresee. So in her loss of her daughter, she actually made the lands barren of food and caused the cycle to end where it was supposed to be able to harvest. And so you can kind of see where winter fell on the land because everything had to die for it to be reborn. And the fact that her daughter was able to come back in spring showed the renewing of that fruit. So isn't that really cool, the perspectives you can get from all this stuff? Okay, so enough about Hades and Persephone, enough about the Celtic spirit. How did you guys enjoy today? What was the best thing about your day? I would love to hear it in the comments. I'm going to take a sip of my coffee. You guys are super cool. Just want you guys to know that. If you guys are not feeling like you are moving forward in life, or that things in your life are not at the perspective that you're wanting, I think that you have a choice to change that. Make a perspective of the things that you can change now, and then build up the security and the confidence to do the next step. I think that's something that this is also reflecting a lot on that as well. That even if you guys happen to feel like you're stuck or lost, or you don't have anybody around you that can support you the way that you need to be supported, I feel that that's when you come into play. You are your support. at that time of the dark night of your soul or shadow working, you have the ability to pick yourself up. Spiritually, your higher self is able to do that for you. It's like an alter ego to yourself almost. It shows you what you are capable of. It doesn't leave you hanging dry like a physical being can, because they're dealing with a human experience. Your higher self is different. It has infinite possibilities and choices that are beyond comprehension that you are able to choose from. So I don't know if anybody needed to hear that today. It just popped in my head. But yeah. So I am going to head and I'm going to end it here since it seems like the chat has gone silent. And I really appreciate the feedback from Facebook and YouTube and from Haps. Thank you guys so much for watching with us. I know I started a little bit earlier than I usually do, and I do apologize. But my family is needing me this morning a lot more because of that power outage. It seems like they're not connected to that other half yet. Sort of similar to some of us that when something dramatic happens, we don't know how to act or react. And so we're sitting there like a deer in headlights. And I think that once we have somebody or our higher selves breaks us from that trance, you guys can kind of see where that's pointing into. Actually, it just shows you that, okay, what to do next, move forward, step out, see the world, take a walk around the park. If you have a neighborhood that you feel comfortable in, maybe take a bus there and drive over there and walk there for a minute and then come back home. It's always good to sit with yourself and feel where you're at, what you think you can do at this moment, and what you can plan for the future to do when you've gotten to the point where you've made it through the other stuff. So it's encouraging. It's really awesome that we have all these examples of what not to do and what could happen if we do the things that could bring us infinite love and light and joy in this experience. I think that's something that a lot of us are still craving. How can I find love? Can I find happiness? But really, it starts with you. You can't bring somebody else into your world until you learn to be happy with yourselves, to love yourselves at your lowest and at your highest. It's hard to have a circle of people that love you if you don't love yourself, if you're not sending out that energy to love yourself. So another perspective to think about, another thing to open your mind on, research for yourselves. Definitely what I'm going to be doing this morning is I'm going to sit in silence for a minute, take a deep breath, enjoy the outside air right now, because we're like starting to kind of feel fall-y here in Missouri. So that's going to be really fun. I'm going to take the kids outside for a minute, let them ground, let them express themselves to the world, scream, laughter, tickle their bellies a little bit, just make them feel special. Especially since when you have people who have a purpose in your life and you feel like you're not being heard or spoken to about what you could do to help, and you're a younger soul and you're still learning what that looks like. And this is a new experience for you as a human. You got birthed into the world. You've been shown many perspectives throughout your whole entire adolescence and childhood. And when you finally hit the young adult stage, it's like everything they taught me, does it really work? Does it really show the perspective that I need for myself? And then it gets down to the nitty-gritty of, is that really what my soul says is true? What is my truth? What is the truth? how can I work through this truth? And if it is the truth, is it the purpose that I'm moving forward in? Or am I still hiding behind something? Am I still working towards something that's not for my highest good and purest of intentions? I need love. Well, love yourself first. What parts of you do you not love about yourself? And what's funny is I've gone through this stage multiple times in my life. So I'm speaking from experience. Now, it could be different for you guys. You can probably love yourself too much and not others around you. That could be a possibility. I don't know. But a lot of us, we, especially the ones that come in as star seeds or come in as an extraterrestrial being trying to figure out what this human experience is all about, we start to look at ourselves differently because we're not the same as we were when we were before. So our incarnations before were way better than this. We don't know why we're in here for this, which is not true. We do know. Subconsciously, we do know. Consciously, probably not. But it doesn't mean that you're not beautiful and amazing. And it doesn't mean that you're not handsome enough, or you're not smart enough, or you don't have enough muscle mass on your body to be considered amazing and beautiful. And beautiful is very non-generalized, because even handsome was used for women back in the 1900s, 1800s even before that. I think it was like even in the 1500s. So like all these words have been recategorized multiple times to either set a lower vibration towards ourselves, so that our bodies can't mature the way that they're supposed to, or we can't spiritually maturely go to the point of where we need to be. So it's all about perspective and translating what you know to be true for yourselves. Has nothing to do with half the stuff that people are saying, but it always does. It's always better to have an open mind and an open heart and open ears to the situations that are at hand, because sometimes people who are talking about things, sometimes that can spark something inside of you that can help you grow, or help you thrive. Because whatever the example or what they have been going through on their end basically helped you get down with your end 10 times faster, 100 times faster, because you now have the tools that you need to survive. You have the tools to thrive again. And once you have gotten to the thriving part, you can share that with the world. You don't have to sit in woe is me for a long, long time. You can actually thrive and be whole because you were never broken to begin with. All that is just illusionary masses of matter consciousness that has been placed on you, and you've taken it up as your own. You could have let it swim by. It didn't have to be a part of your environment, your culture, your way of life. Just because your ancestors dealt with something traumatic doesn't mean that your line next up has to be the one to continue that pattern. It's a spiral for a reason. It can be cleared. There's no ending to a spiral. Especially with Celtic lore, you can kind of see where that comes from. It's more of like the end and the beginning of something. So it's a cycle. Saturn, yes. We've talked about Saturn before, haven't we, ladies and gentlemen? All right, so let me go ahead and close this with a little blessing to you guys. And I hope this gave you guys the encouragement or a different perspective, or gave you some sparkly ideas of what can work with your life. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said earlier, if there is anything that you guys feel that needs to be brought up, if you have a topic of choice that you guys want to bring up here on Spiritual Chatter Sunday, don't hesitate to comment in the comments. I would love to hear what you want to talk about. Like, what questions do you guys have? Is there anything going on in your world that you need a little bit of maybe a different perspective on it? Maybe even I'll pull a card for it and see what your higher selves are trying to tell you, or where we can work through it. I don't mind doing that for you guys. Like, that is for your highest good and for your purest of intentions, so your life can move on in a bigger and brighter way. So let me know if that's something you guys want to do in the comments. I would love to hear and see what we can do to kind of make you guys feel that you are being heard and said, instead of you feeling like nobody is hearing you. Because I feel like a lot of you, your hearts are just screaming for nourishment and attention and support. And it's just weird how even your higher selves don't really know what to say next, because you do have the choice. The choice card's still in your hand. It's like doing a Texas Hold'em game and realizing you have the winning cards literally laying down in front of you. All you have to do is pick it up. The tools are here for you for that. You don't have to use the tools, but it sometimes is easier for a visual. I am seeing that having some of these tools has helped a lot, but it doesn't mean that they have power over what happens. You have power. You're the one giving energy to the tool. The tool is here to do what you need it to do, not the other way around. So, like, if you have a computer, that tool is helping you research things. That tool can help you connect with other people. That tool could be your voice box for the things that need to be heard and said. Same thing with a car. You don't need a car. You have legs. You can walk. But if you do happen to have one, isn't it nicer to feel like you can go further than what your legs can hold you on? Isn't that an amazing tool that we can use to travel longer distances than our legs could have at this point in our lives do? Music, another tool and great influencer of many, many different eras of life. Something that literally speaks to the soul because of the vibrating frequency that is in it. It speaks to us in ways that make us, even our bodies don't know what to do with themselves. They start to have emotions and feelings, and we're able to express ourselves in ways that we never really felt we could do before because of the vibrational frequency. Same thing with healing. Healing can come in many forms. It can come in the words that come out of your mouth. It can come in the form of medicine from the world, from the planet. It can come in the form of a crystal, a symbology in the things that we have around us that were actually used to heal things that even Big Pharma doesn't know how to use. You know what I mean? So, like, a lot of the newest science that we've been dealing with is from many, many, many failures that finally got it right. Think about it. Our bodies, we know our bodies better than a lot of people do because we're the ones living in them. We understand where we're at. Having somebody to bounce ideas off of doesn't mean that they understand 100% what's going on inside your soul. Your soul could be crying and all they see is a blank smile on your face. Like you're literally faking it to the world if they actually could have an ounce of perception. I don't know. Something to think about, guys. I don't know why that popped up or why that needed to be said, but it's here. It's on recording. So You're welcome to replay it whenever. I'm going to go ahead and do that blessing right now. I think that I'm going to end it right there. Okay. So, deep breath. Release anything that is not of your highest good or purest of intentions to your soul, to your body, to your mind. Anything at an energetic, emotional, or physical level, let it be transmuted into love and light so that it can be processed in the way that it was supposed to come in and be fulfilled and completed. Let that cycle end that has no longer a hold on us, and let us actually grow something new and beautiful and radiant. Let that fire die down so we can see the new harvest of what's going to come up in the spring of our lives. It doesn't have to be the same cycle as the land that we live on currently. It could be something totally different for us. Let us be blessed physically, spiritually, tangibly, financially. Let us be able to see the blessings that we have for ourselves. Let us reap the things that are for our highest good and purest of intentions. Because we are blessed individuals, but we are all equally blessed as a group of souls that are willing to see this experience for what it is. There's a purpose to our experience. Thank you for letting us see that today, Spirit. Thank you for showing us different perspectives and advice for us to keep moving forward in our destinies, in our fated line that we are currently residing on. And if there is a different choice for us to make, help us. Show us a sign or give us the encouragement from others to do what we need to do for ourselves so that we can also help others see the same example could work for them. Love and light over all of you. Let no harm come to anybody who is watching this video or even doing the replays or part of us as we're going live. Namaste, blessed be, amen. Motive be, amen. Okay, guys, love and light to all of you. And I will see you guys next time. See you guys later.